Tape Reader Joe here once again. It feels absolutely fantastic to get a win in today after, I'll be honest with you, what hasn't been a very good week at all. But I'd like to just start off by talking us through the price delivery that occurred. Hopefully you would have caught my market outlook already and would be aware that I was actually already in a trade from yesterday because I was over trading and I left it open overnight. But as you can see here, we opened up at 9:30 with a strong price drop lower, and it looks like this could be the manipulation leg, and as we've got the news at 10 a.m. then 10 a.m. would be the distribution. Now if you'd also been looking at what occurred this week, you'd have seen this kind of delivery profile before, where you have that that consolidation at the top. You have a little bit of manipulation, the consolidation before the 9:30 open, let's say. 9:30 opens, takes that high of that consolidation, and then you get that sharp drop down into the macro. Now as you can see here, we now enter into our macro window. I'm marking up, you know, the obvious kind of fair value gaps as such. You know, I'm marking it up at this point. I'm already in the trade now. To be honest, I don't have any funds to put any more in, but you know, it is demo at the end of the day, but I'm trying to be as realistic as I can. And so I am just reading what happens here, and this would have been an opportunity to get in on that fair value gap. I say it's an opportunity. You know, obviously it's easy to see it when you're not actually placing the trade and in hindsight, but as you can see that there is some level of support around that price level. Note that where price was at 9:45 at 24,000, you see that big green candle, and I'm marking up the next fair value gap, and I'm looking for these to become you know, see how price reacts off these gaps as such. Now as you know, I have got this PO3 partition indicator or plot indicator, which is given the lines, and as you can see how price is reacting to that baseline. Now we see 10 o'clock open up, and as I say, 9:30 quite clearly has manipulated, and so we now should see the distribution. And at this point I'm like, yeah, I know it's working. If I could have put on my, well, I have put on my entire account on this one trade to see where price goes as we move forward through, move the delivery forward for the rest of this macro and for the morning session. Now one of the things I, you know, would like to say is that, you know, when it's right, it does really feel right, and I think there's just seems to be, I don't know, it's just something about it, isn't it? A win, and this is the kind of feeling that you want, and I feel like I'm turning a corner in the sense that I'm beginning to read the price much better. As you can see, we got a small rejection here at the mid-equilibrium point of that price range, let's say. Give person another opportunity to actually get in. Notice it, you know, you got that dip right at the 10 o'clock, or sorry, 10:15. So that's the end of the macro, and now this is where we start to see how the price continues to move through for the rest of the morning. Now, if you had watched my review or my market outlook, I have got the price target already set, and the price target of 24 0.087. I'm confident it's going to hit there. As I say, I'm still trying to curb some bad habits. So as I say, I was over trading this week. Things just didn't go quite well. I will still post those videos for you all to see, because you might learn something as well. It's just about sharing really the situation and the journey that we're having to take. And as you know, I placed an order after a small win. As you can see there, I'm just adjusting the stop loss just to protect some level of funds in case it does go against me, because I wasn't able to just stay on the chart for the entire morning, had to move away. But essentially, the habit of over trading. So I was in the trade from last night. It went into quite a large drawdown, but I didn't even have a stop loss on. But I was kind of confident that we would kind of see, another leg up on the Friday, given looking at the delivery profile. So here we can see we had a small dip down. There's still another gap that was created there. And price is just doing its thing. It's moving through those partitions. You notice the partitions, they're going up in partitions of 27. So that's the number that I was using today. We started off really at the base. Obviously, if you're confident with what you're doing, obviously entering before then the macro, but that's not for me. I have to maintain my protocol to stay within the macro as a whole, which I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get better at doing as such. But I think that, today is proof that it does work when it works. The system of obviously looking at the window, looking for the retracement into a gap at a key price level within the macro, and then the price target. In the market outlet that I shared this morning or before the session, the calculation that Jenkins uses for, or I don't know if he still uses it, but he suggested looks at squaring the low, adding to, and square rooting the low, adding to, and squaring it again. And that's what I had done to get us to that price level. As I say, it's taken a week, and as we can see, it's at that 11 o'clock. So it is the same time as when the low was made, actually. So that's really quite interesting, but it's how many days later. Now, obviously, you don't need to always add 2. If you add 1, then I believe it would be a little bit less. You can add, you can square root it, you can plus 0.25, 0.5, 0.1, and 0.75 as such. But I personally haven't done that myself. So 2 is quite long. I think they call it 2 rotations, but I haven't really looked into the geometry around that and this whole kind of power of 9 numbers. So essentially that's what happened today. And I actually forgot to have my take profit on one of those orders, and so I just closed it there. So that was it. I was very much tempted to jump back in, but my senses got the better of me. Don't go for the sell and the reversal at this point. Just take what you've got and go home. And so that's exactly what I did. So I hope you guys also had a good day today. Obviously price did continue up higher for a little bit more, which is fine. But I got what I needed to get, and I'm just pleased that the indicators working well, give me some added confluence, and also that the price prediction came in too. So on to next week, some back testing over the weekend, and see how we get on in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. Do drop me a comment, like, subscribe and all that good stuff. Thanks.